Yo. Yeah. Here I am doing another vlog-ish video.
Hi guys, how are you doing today? My name is Kidneyjay. The J stands for jerk because my kidneys are a pair of jerks. In this one, I know I like to, kiki, joke around, have fun. This one is a bit more serious. So this one is Hungry Fat Chick. It's called Candy Vlog 002. And she's hurting. She's really hurting in this one. So trigger warning. Just so you know, there are some heavy topics coming up in this one. It was around 30 minutes. I cut it down to about 11 minutes. I'm going to let her do most of the talking. And if you do want to watch the whole thing, by all means, go to her channel and watch that. Yeah, leave a comment down below if you want. I appreciate all of you guys. So let's get to it and see what Candy has to say today.
Yeah, I'm like not okay. Just, yeah. I'm not trying to complain about it. This is just where I am right now. And it's not like I'm not ordering food. I am. I have been. I actually have leftover chicken to eat later. Popeyes. I just don't feel like eating on camera right now. But I'm just going through the motions. I'm just day by day by day, just living, if you could call this a life. But, yeah, so yeah, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Just one day at a time. I don't know. I'm not the type of person, to ask for help. I'm just not. I'm a suffer in silence, typically, kind of person. I like to say I'm not lonely, but I kind of am. And it's not just lonely, I'm not doing very good by myself here. I'm not. I mean, I've made it the whole year.
So this was her a year ago moving into her new place.
Hey, y'all. I just wanted to say I'm out and about today. I got the keys to my new apartment. Yay! Oh, kind of miss.
And she looks happy. She looks genuinely happy to be making that step. Now it looks like she regrets it and she's lonely. Let's go on.
Living with people. I kept myself in check a little bit more when I lived with other people, but yeah, there's a lot more to it than that. I mean, I like living alone. I like my space. I like having control of my thermostat and my television, and when I go to bed and when I get up, and just I like to just do me, But there's times when I truly miss, living with people, having a pack. I like to call myself a lone wolf. But I think at my heart, I'm definitely a pack animal. I'm definitely the kind of person that needs a crew.
So she did, up until last year, live with Hungry Hippie, as well as another lady named Susan. And in this video, Hungry Fat Chick talks about how she still does talk to Susan daily. And Susan seems like her biggest support right now and encourages her that, you can You've lost weight before, you could do it again. They don't meet up in person, it seems a lot, but they do chat. They watch shows via headset and all that. The video game stuff. I don't.
But I get lonely. I do get a little bit lonely. I'll admit it. I just kind of miss having people around. But the way that I am, I know that I probably, would have issues. I get irritated. I do like my own space. The main thing I kind of miss.
See, that's the thing, though. Life is about compromising. You can't have it both ways. It's either, you're going to suffer, and I use that term very loosely, and not have the thermostat the way you want it, or you have people around you, a support system for your mental health. It can't be both ways.
Well, one of the main things I kind of miss is with living with people is I have more self-control. I don't know if it's like out of embarrassment or whatever, but I don't just order food.
Absolutely, it's out of embarrassment. And I've said this before about how shame isn't necessarily a bad thing. It keeps our society in check. Some places, you have that feeling like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, and you probably maybe shouldn't. Now, I don't mean like guilt and, how do I express this? I don't mean that you should feel shame for living your authentic self. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if there are other people around and you feel embarrassment. It can be a good thing sometimes if it's something that is not going to benefit you.
Here I just willy-nilly order the food and waste the monies. It's like, gosh, how do I get control of that? I've tried. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. There's realistically nothing anybody can do to help me. I have to help myself, and I don't know how to do it. Like if I just say one day, oh well, I'm just gonna go on this diet, and I'm only gonna eat this, and this, and I could do that for a few days, and then somehow something switches in my brain, and I start making excuses. I start rationalizing, and I rationalize my way into, well, just this one time, and I'm just going to do it this one time. And then I do.
Also, to go along with that, she does talk about how she doesn't think she would be a good candidate for weight loss surgery because she would just basically eat herself out of it.
I feel like I'm coming to the very end of my rope. Just kind of going through the motions, like I said, and just waiting for the end. I said it. People like to say, well, she's only got so long, to be here, and, and I know. I know. I feel it every single day. Every step I take is excruciating. And that's not what's going to take me out, It's going to be my heart or something like that. I've learned in the last year to sit with myself, to sit in my feels and my emotions and just be with myself.
It's truly heartbreaking. Just the point how she's learning to sit with herself, excellent. That is great. The only person you have at the end of the day is yourself, and you should learn to love to be with yourself and just sit in the emotions. I don't know if she's doing that. She says she's doing that. But I have a feeling she is, obviously using the food for comfort and she's not really feeling those emotions.
And get to know how that feels. I have a mental illness that, well, I'll just come out and say it. It causes me to hallucinate and stuff. And it can get really, really freaking scary sometimes. Like, really scary. And I have to question reality. I'm like, is this really happening? Or am I just imagining this? Is this just not real? So there's times when I'm like laying in bed alone and I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And it gets really scary.
I don't think Candy has really opened up about this before. I'm not going to speculate what's going on there. I do question why there's no medication, there's no therapy, whether there was or not regarding that. I have no idea. If you guys know, just let me know in the comments.
Alone for me is different from other people because I don't really feel alone. There's always people around me. There's something around me. I'm not saying I'm haunted, but I got those little cup of noodles and they're decent. Of course, I gotta eat 2 at a time because I'm fat. And I'm not just fat, I'm fat and sick. I'm sick. Not right. Yeah, I hate feeling emotional about it because this is something that, I did this to myself. I did it to myself.
Can I just say, this is why, in the most part, people do like Candy because she is self-aware. She knows that she did this to herself. She knows this will ultimately, unfortunately, be her end. She has no delusions about that.
And I don't know why. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know how I ended up here. And I don't know what to do about it. I mean, people suggest that I do inpatient. And it's like, how am I going to do inpatient? I need... y'all know I have my bidet that helps me in the bathroom for hygiene, personal hygiene. And I don't get that in the hospital. People have to physically help me. And it's embarrassing. It's humiliating. And they're not going to install a bidet in whatever hospital room I get in at rehab, at fat camp.
Ma'am, that experience in the hospital is not unique to you. That happens to everyone in the hospital. Do you think there have been times I have been in the hospital where people have to change me, wipe me after surgery? Yes. Is it humiliating? Yes. Does it suck? Abso-freaking-lutely. Do I do everything I can to not get back there again? To take care of myself? To fight every day for my independence? Yes. But if you have to go through it, you have to go through it. And let me just tell you, they're healthcare professionals. They've seen it all. They've done it all. They don't care. They're not giving it a second thought. And if you look at Tammy Slayton, she was in a facility for months. She was in ICU with a trachea. Do you think nurses weren't coming in 3, 4, 5 times a day to wipe her ass and, give her a bedpan if that's what it is, or change her diaper? You have to go through it to get better.
I'm not going to have that. And I'm not going to spend months in a facility having somebody take care of me multiple times a day. I just can't. I can't. I'd rather unalive, personally. make my rent.
And I guess just to add to that, it's so heartbreaking that she rather just give up than have that help available to her, no matter what it looks like for the time being. But the sad reality is she may end up there anyways. There, I'm just saying it's not guaranteed that, you know, something quick will happen. If you look at Hungry Hippie, he had a debilitating stroke. He's home now, but he had people taking care of him in that way in the hospital. Guarantee.
And I don't know what else to do. I really don't. I mean, I could take my clothes off and do more adult stuff, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I really don't. I mean, I was so happy to find YouTube and be able to do what I do here, rather than what I was doing. I mean, I was literally just doing the same thing, but sans clothes. I mean,
So that's about it. Now, her being happy she found YouTube because when she was doing the feeder stuff, she was basically doing the same thing but without her clothes. I don't know if YouTube was a good thing or a bad thing for her, because listen, she's a food addict. She could be at the same spot whether or not she was making money from YouTube or not. I will say she does feel obviously stuck in a cycle, and this is why I think these vlogs are happening. Fine, I'm all for it. Like, don't eat on camera if you don't want to. Do your vlogs, but redemption arc. Everyone loves a redemption arc, and I know you're saying, you're shaking your head right now, being KJ. It's done. Like, it's too late for her. I'm a eternal optimist. I always will be. I look at Tammy Slayton and I say, look what she did. But Tammy Slayton did have the support that Candy doesn't seem to have, or doesn't seem to be willing to let in. That's it for me. If you made it this far, like I said, leave a comment down below. I appreciate all of you guys, and we'll talk later. And, you know, pray, good vibes, all that to Candy.